Tell me when it's going live. A minute. Hey, we are live. Oh my gosh, it's hard to believe that it's like 10 p.m. Saturday night in my world. What time is it over there, Neil?
Almost 7. So
Almost 7. All right. Well, I'm this is Carmelia Ray. Hi, friends. If you're watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, any of my Facebook pages, you know me, and I want to introduce to you someone that is not new to me, but maybe new to you, that I've been working with very, very, very closely for the last 8 weeks, who is now an integral part of my everyday decision making, including helping me in my personal life, my family life, my business life. We have created, well, he's created it, but we worked together to create an offering and a support system for those who want to really explode their life, their love, their health, their business. And it's the P.P.A evaluation, which is a combination of personology, psychology, and astrology with none other than Neil Mason, all the way from Newport Beach. Hey!
thanks for having me, Carm.
Of course. Oh my God. I've been having you every day for like hours a day. But we're far away, so it's not in that context. Neil's my new work husband. I'm his work wife. That's how we lovingly call it. In the days of digital, remote working, this is how we're doing business. And we actually recently saw each other in California as I was doing work with a few clients there, and we're on our way to Las Vegas, speaking and participating in a mastermind hosted by Credit Ninja, Leanne. I don't want to screw up her last name, and Kareen and all of her guests. I'm one of the speakers, and Coach Neil is my guest. So, Coach Neil, give everybody sort of just a sense of what the P.P.A evaluation is. And I'm very happy to share from my perspective how I've been using it, but you can certainly share how you've been working with me in the last literally, I think, 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's I'm an open book. I look forward to sharing whatever we want to share. And the important part of this is just to give your audience value. So if they need to reach out to you and I together, they should reach out to us, and we'll make sure we get back to them. And we just want to serve and provide value and insight and just help people.
Yeah, well, number one, I'll pull up some of my scores. There in this test, I've been in the dating matchmaking space now for over 30 years. And I have been across a number of personality assessments, tests, Enneagram, love languages, the INT, the Myers Briggs. There's so many. The DISC assessment. I've never come across the combination of testing that you've provided that actually, in my opinion, and I can say professional expert opinion, I've been in this space for a long time, is a game changer for the dating space, and frankly a game changer in the business context. Because at the end of the day, when you understand yourself, like really truly understand yourself, and you understand people, you are at an advantage. You're at an advantage because knowing yourself, understanding yourself, like really truly doing that, gives you the opportunity to know who should be in your circle. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the things you're going to work on? I'll give an example. Coach Neil knows that in some of my scores, I score lower in certain areas that would leave me vulnerable to being taken advantage of, right? And I don't even know those things. I'll share one that I'm comfortable sharing is naivety, right? I can't. Now I'm telling the whole world I'm not naive. That's okay. Anybody who knows me knows that I believe almost everything. My sister-in-law, who does not drink an ounce of alcohol, said, I had a shot of tequila. I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, I would never have a shot of tequila. Well, you said you had a shot. That's how easy it is. But, that's a fun thing. But can you imagine what that would be like if I actually met a real Tinder swindler? Like, I could be one of those people that falls into believing or prey or lending money. I've been in a situation that it's happened. I've made choices based on who I am as a person, not knowing that I could be susceptible to those things. So I really want to thank you, Neil, for encouraging me to do the test. Hi guys, we see hand pinky waving. We have some comments here. Thanks, Orlando. Late night in Canada. Yes, we have people from LinkedIn, from YouTube. Please subscribe, like, stay tuned because we're going to give a lot of information on how you can get access to the same test that I did to start having the kind of results that I'm having. And I've been having incredible results in every area of my life, to be quite honest. Uh, Coach Neil, I'm really fascinated by the story of how this came about. And it started with your own journey and your own mentor. So, if you could share with those who do not know that story just a little bit about that, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, first of all, Karma, I just want to thank you and appreciate your audience for tuning in. I'm humbled, honored to be here, and just want to provide value and be able to help out however I can. So, can you hear me? Is my volume good?
You're great.
So, 2008, 2009, I met a mentor from Hong Kong, very successful, wealthy businessman, and he explained to me how birthdays work and how people born on the same birthday in the same year are the same person. And I didn't believe that really, you know. And I served at his feet, if you will, just understanding that, like, you know, this guy was older than me at the time. I think I was, back then I was 29, 30, and I was just looking for a mentor. And he was so smart and he just taught me a lot of things. Fast forward 10 years later, I got into a business deal and invested $500,000 of my own money and lost it and just made some really poor decisions. I don't blame anybody else but myself. And I realized that what went wrong. And what went wrong was I didn't understand the people I was doing business with. So I reached back out to my mentor and said, "Hey, what happened?" He said, "Did you know their birthdays?" I said, "No." He said, "Always know their birthdays." So from that date, 6 years ago, 2017 till now, I've studied over personally, I've given personality assessments to 1,000 people. I have the data, and the assessments are two quizzes, one which is 50 questions, five multiple choice answers. The second, which is 94 questions, five multiple choice answers. And I take that data for each person and I correlate that. And what I realize is everybody on the same birthday answers those same questions the exact same way. So now what I've done is I've then re-examined the data, and now I have more than 2,000 people in my personal database where I test their birthday, and I realize that they basically are the same personality, health, um, social disorders, anxiety, depression, mental health, addiction, drugs, alcohol, sex, personality assessments, and so forth. And then I advise companies, corporations, families, parents about their loved ones based on birthdays. It sounds a lot, and that was a mouthful, but as we dive more into this, Carm, I think you and your audience will get an understanding of what I'm doing, and it's more science than it is fiction.
Yeah, it is science. I think that the combination of the testing that you've chosen to make these assessments, particularly the dark triad test as well as the hexaco test, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If this might sound like foreign language to people, and I really wanted to take this opportunity to try to share a little bit of the magic and a little bit of what we've been doing very diligently, not just with our clients, but with well, he's been doing it with myself, with my family, my daughters, my brothers, my because once you get an understanding, it's really addictive. I consider it, I'm addicted to learning about myself, and I'm addicted to learning about how I can surround myself with the right people with good knowledge. We only have the information that we see, and we only have an idea of what somebody's like based on who they show us, what they show us. And if we take social media for an example, like, raise your hand if you think that everything that they're sharing actually defines their life. Oh, no hands raised. Okay, imagine that. Whereas having the gift and the experience that you've had in this world, and when you know somebody's birthday, because there's research and data, strong data behind their personality type, and you actually have, you're a single man, you've dated many ladies, and you know their birthdays, so it's great that you're able to kind of assess in advance and tell if this personality is going to be a great fit. Because fundamentally, as I discover my scores, I you're born a certain way according to the testing, and I can um 100% vouch for the fact that the testing and the scores as they pertain to me, and many of my clients have also vouched that it's been weirdly accurate, like scarily accurate. I don't even know what to call the word. It's just eerie. That
Facts.
is like, oh, it's facts, right? It's facts. So when you have these facts, even the things you don't want to know, right? I've done a lot of personal development. I subscribe to coaching. I have multiple mentors. I'm in many groups. I've spent six figures in over the years, multiple probably, in trying to figure myself out and helping my family, whatever that looks like. But it just so happens that this particular thorough assessment is something I really think has been the most impactful, quite frankly. So, Neil, did how did you get to this like perfect combination? Was it also based from your mentor, or did you do some of your own research to discover that, yeah, the combination of all of these things really works?
Yeah, great question. So I think a lot of great invention in life is born from necessity and pain. And the pain I had is I invested in this business deal, over $500,000 of my own money, of my savings, and I lost it all. And I wanted to know what went wrong, but I didn't want to blame other people. I wanted to look inward. And what I realized was my own faults, my own flaws. When you start negotiating and entering into transactions that are really high level for where you're at financially, you get exposed for your strengths and weaknesses. And I realized my strengths and weaknesses and who I was and who I wasn't apparent to me. So when I went back to my mentor, I said, look, what happened? He said, let's look at who you really are. And I realized what I was meant to do. And I'm not a businessman. I'm not someone who's great at making tough decisions, logic. I'm great at people and I understand people. And now that I know who I am and who I'm not, I just stay within a box. And I'm a coach. I help people. But if it comes to legal and accounting and contracts, that's not my strength. So knowing yourself, knowing other people, mastering yourself, mastering other people, those are the foundations and principles to what I believe in and what PPA is all about.
Yeah, it's crazy how you can take, like, once you know something, it's kind of like when you actually learn something, like when you know 1 + 1 = 2, you'll never forget that, right? I'm just in the process of learning my scores, and soon it'll be a recall. Soon it'll be something that I'm intimately familiar with. I'm still like hanging around like the phone and the paper to say, oh, what am I again? And eventually it's going to be 1 + 1 = 2, right? I know my birthday. I know that according to the world, I'm an Aries. I know the faults I have. I know the areas I need to work on, but there were many things I didn't know, and there were many things I wasn't able to see that caused me a great deal of pain and a great deal, frankly, of suffering, because I am prone to be a certain way. It's like, let's say that I burned my hand on a hot stove multiple times, right? And I'm like, why do I keep burning my damn hand? Well, number one, you don't have anyone stopping you from putting your hand on the stove. And some people literally need that support in their life to stop them from putting their hand on the stove until it becomes a habit. And so if my natural inclination is act fast, think later, because I'm excited, or it's just I want to go. It would be important and something to consider for me to have someone like holding the reins, right? Because going to some occasions, especially in business, do not require the energy that I bring, or I have to tone it down, or my way of being makes somebody uncomfortable. And I'm intuitive enough because I've been around people for the last 30 years, and I've made many mistakes to recover, and I have great resilience. There were things that in there that I was like, oh, damn, I need to watch for that. I actually, Neil recommended you should have, it's like chess. Okay, I'm the queen on my chessboard. I make many moves and I can go every direction. Like I'm literally the queen on the chessboard. But I need my rook. I need my pawn. I need my king eventually. And the kind of kings that I'm attracting, any female can get this, any male can get this. If you're a king attracting a queen, if you're a queen attracting a king, and you're unaware that you are like attracts like, right? But the traits that I need to improve on are the traits that I'm attracting into my life. And I'm not even going to know that it's a problem, right? I'm not even going to be aware that it's an issue because it's comfortable to me. I like it. That's familiar. And yet that's not a trait I really want to attract in my life. It's not really a trait I want to have. It's a trait I'm working on. So that was a powerful insight from you to me, that at my age, and at my like, but I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my god, I have nothing to learn. The fact is I have a lot to learn, and and that is also part of my test scores, is I'm insanely curious. I've always known about that, which ideally makes me a great collaborator or partner or even investigator. If I wanted to be a PI, like, hire me, because I will ask all the questions. I'll ask all the questions. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Yeah. So remember, you're born March 24th. Is that right? Or
25th.
25th. The calendar starts March 21st. So you're literally born within 4 days of the year starting. Okay. What does that mean? That there's 365 days of the year and you're born within 4 days of the year starting. That's 1%. And you're a little baby in essence. So till the day you die, 90, 100 years old, because you're going to live forever, you're a little baby. You ask questions. You need to be taken care of. You have fun. You're curious, and that curiosity, that youthfulness, that vibrance, that passion is something that really is your bloodline. Me, I'm born March 9th. I'm at the end of the year. So I'm the old soul. I'm there to tell stories. I'm wisdom. I'm experience. I've been through the wars. I've won. I've lost, and I'm more cautious. But you're fun. So we're trying to push you out of the nest. And for me, I'm saying, hey, come here. Let me give you my experience to guide you along your journey.
Yeah. When you think at high level corporations and companies, you've got your CEO, the CTO, the CFO, the CSG person, the Girl Friday, from everything under the sun. And with the information that you have, and with the ability to know somebody's strengths and weakness even before they know it, it's kind of like, literally, you don't need an interview. Just tell me when your birthday is. I'll let you know if you're like, that's how powerful this thing is. And if there are questions, if anybody who's here has questions, or there's post questions, I'm going to put Neil's website up so you guys can take a look at that. You can also go to carmeliaray.com. There is a banner on my site, P.P.A Evaluation, that'll give you an opportunity to sign up and to inquire about it. Just trying to balance everything at once here.
I am not.
Oops. What is that? Sorry about that. Got to turn off my background noise here. Um, Neil, let me ask you, when you did your evaluation, and I don't know who did your evaluation, but when you discovered yourself, like how long did it take you? Like, were there moments where you actually caught yourself or prevented yourself from getting into big trouble or for taking on something that you just knew, like you had this new knowledge and you like saved yourself money, heartache, time, whatever that was?
Yeah. How about every day? Yesterday, today, last night, this morning. I'm constantly,
100%. Connected
So,
to
go ahead.
CIRMROG.
yeah,
And let's go.
Sorry. Go ahead.
no worries. I'm constantly evaluating how flawed I am. And part of the problem for me is like, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can
Yeah,
hear you.
there's a little bit of an echo. Every single day I'm realizing how flawed I am. And even though I have all this data, I still make mistakes because we're human. And what I try to do is check in with my team. And hold on, there's an echo here. Are we good?
I'm good.
So there we go. Thanks. What I try to do is check in with my team, and I have a team of advisors, conciliaires, partners who just give me that insight. Hey, Neil, you sure you want to do this? And I didn't have that a few years ago, and it cost me almost $1 million. And now I'm always asking those questions. What are my insecurities? And I'm really sensitive, Carm. I'm overly sensitive, and it gets me in trouble. I'm overly proud. It gets me in a lot of trouble. I'm stubborn. Um, I'm overly principled. I talk too much. So I'm constantly learning my own flaws and my own vulnerabilities. And then I can share those with my clients. And they appreciate the fact that I don't approach them like, hey, I know everything. It's more like, look, I'm stupid. I'm flawed. I'm a mistake ridden person. Don't make the same mistakes I made. There's a saying, organisms that learn from their mistakes are good. Organisms that learn from the mistakes of others will always win. Learn from my mistake. Don't learn from your own mistake.
Some people, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Some people need, yeah, I mean, it's great. They need to learn those mistakes, right? But I think where people fumble in life and where they're constantly making mistakes is that they're just unaware. There's one thing to be aware and just choose to continue to be that way or be whatever way that you want to be. And then there's things that are involuntary, right? It's just intrinsic. It's in our nature. It's in our being. Like my patience score wasn't horrible, but I'm more impatient than I am patient, right? And in the world of relationships and also where you're working with high level people at the level of the people that I'm working with, like patience is a virtue, right? The beauty about, knowing your scores, knowing what your strengths are, I really can play to my strengths and I can also offer my strengths to other people. I feel like a real contribution to someone when I am on a project and I'm giving it my all because I'm 100% in diligence and I know I'm 100% in authority. Yet, being 100% in authority, as many women who might be watching this can relate, means I'm 100% in authority, whether I'm with my kids, I in the bedroom, in a relationship, in a board meeting, in talking with on a project. And if I am not the lead, and I have to be able to understand that there's a time and place to exercise authority, right? And it's not when I'm not in authority. And imagine I've had the difficulties in the past relinquishing my authority, right? And also knowing, okay, I don't have to be in control of this situation. This is somebody else's, I can let that go. And it's not, it's just my inner being wanting to act a certain way, right? And so I can be, now that I'm aware of that, that's great, and I've had to remove myself in reality, Neil, in situations where I clashed with another individual because perhaps male or female, they were probably 100 in authority like me, and we were both not able to meet in the middle, right? You have to be able to meet in the middle. So it's one thing to know the scores and go, great, that's me. And that's the thing that I said about Neil to Neil. Well, you're a coach. So now that I know these scores, does that mean I'm forever going to always be this way? That doesn't feel good to me. What's your answer to that?
Look, I'm not in the business of what might be or what could be. I'm in the business of what is. And I don't have all the answers. I wish I knew why the sun and the moon and the earth, why why they work the way they do, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't understand plants. I don't understand the sun. I just don't understand that stuff. I just know that it is. I know gravity is gravity, and all these, the moon, the sun, the stars, they all are tied in together with gravity. I see
We
a
have a
crescent here
question. Yeah.
about Chinese science. It's all tied together. It's beyond my knowledge. I just have data, and the data tells me that people born on the same day are the same. Why? I don't know. So don't ask me why, ask me how. The expertise that I have is practicality, which is I've studied 10, 20, 30, 40 people born every single day, and I know their health, I know their understanding, I know how they think. I don't know why, and I don't want to know why. I'm just going to give you data. It's kind of like a car. If you're driving from LA to New York, you don't need to know why the car works. You just need to know, put gas in it and go left and right, press the gas pedal, press the brake, and it works. So you can focus on other things like not of getting in a car accident. But if you want me to take apart the engine, I have no idea why the engine works.
Kareem, thank you for that question, because it's a question that gets asked a lot, and to the point of why is the sky blue? Because it's blue, right? And
Yeah.
for some people who might be, I wonder what his scores are, right? That are data driven or analytical or need facts or science. And there's nothing wrong with any kind of question. Nothing wrong with any kind of question at all. In fact, I want to question things, but when it's right every time, it's like, all right, it works. And I'm now, the way that I'm utilizing it is I feel a deeper sense of connection to my clients, because I'm already high in sentimentality and emotionality. So I feel a lot. And so and those are some of the positive things. I have some not so positive things as well. We're all flawed human beings, but because of those strengths that I have, and because I can now not judge, like, I'm not judging somebody. Okay, they behave this way because these are their scores. This is how they are. I'm not here to change them. Now that I'm aware, how can I deal with this person? Who do I need? Maybe I am not the right fit to speak to this person. I have multiple coaches. And Neil made that suggestion. You might not be the best fit for this person. Thankfully, I get to pick and choose who I work with. Right? Neil, you have the luxury of working with everybody. Whether you like it or not, you can assess anybody, right? So hopefully that answered your question, Kareem.
Yeah, but Carm, can I speak to that real quick?
Yeah, of
When
course.
it comes
You're
to my
the expert.
professional life, I do have that ability to work with who I'm going to work with. But ironically,
Okay.
in my personal life, I live the same curse, because just because I know the data doesn't mean I can stop it from being what it is. And I think what you and I are doing, the perfection of this is that we're just trying to help people. We're trying to solve problems. We want to match you with a person that makes sense for you, short term or long term. We want to provide you insights. We're not going to judge you. I have a principle called Hoorah, which is hear, understand, respect, accept. Hear, understand, respect, accept. I add an A on there, which is awareness, but there's no J, which is judgment. We're not judging you. We're just letting you be you. But we're going to let you understand who you really are and help you avoid pitfalls. And my mom used to tell me, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound in cure.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys liking. Thank you, Austin. You guys can replay this. Neil and I also have made a commitment to be more visible here on these outlets, doing lives. Perhaps you can fill out a form. You can go to coachneilnason.com or you can go to carmeliaray.com, and there is a tab, P.P.A Evaluation. If you want to fill that out, send us your birthday. Next time we go live, you can look us out live. Neil can give tiny bit of insight to who you are. I mean, I took 4 tests. He also can tell you your sexual blueprint, your health assessment. I have protocols right now in place with my family doctor to be preventative, because down the road, there's things that are going to be problematic. And when you think about relationships, why they hire a matchmaker, why they hire a coach this is preventative. This is an opportunity for you to avoid mistakes, to have the right people around you. And I'm a big advocate for this. I've been in this space a long time. It's very rare that I go to, church for people and go, follow this guy, or like, you got to check this out. But very excited. And I'm excited for my clients. I'm excited for you. If you take the opportunity to explore this, have an assessment, get an idea of what this is like, and make sure you follow us and subscribe. Coach Neil, how do people find you on socials again? Like
So
or would you prefer them to go to your website?
Yeah, they can go to Instagram, Mason, MASON .Neil, NEIL, Mason.Neil. I don't really post a lot. I'm going to start, but I have a lot of content on there for the last 10 years. So there's a lot of stuff there. But they can go to your website, CarmeliaRay.com, and look at the PPA. Or they can go to coach.neil, and they can find...
You're Mason.Neil on Instagram?
Correct.
All right. I'm just going to put that up for a minute. Oops. Where is it?
Well,
okay,
in Carm,
there you go. Mason.Neil.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it lists me there as the secret weapon. I've had several companies hire me, big companies, and several professional sports teams, which I won't mention, who wanted me to look into their players or their management or their partners. And it allowed me to give them insights. So contact Carm, contact me. We're here to help. That's our agenda.
Yeah.
We just want to help, provide information, provide data.
I see Ashley Armstrong. Hey, girl. Oh my gosh, I see some friends here. She's a baddie, an incredible entrepreneur. Ashley, this is somebody who's on my team. Thanks for tuning in. He's been doing, it's not readings. It's a P.P.A evaluation. You can learn more about it on my website. Personology, psychology, and astrology evaluation. And I am going to start sharing more about it because I've been using it to place the right people in my team, to decide whether I want to work with certain clients, to help the clients I already have, to choose partners around me, whether it's romantic, business, even having an edge over my adversaries. What's my competition like? What is in their DNA in terms of personality? Because the more that we know ourselves and the more that we know the people around us, I think that we absolutely are going to make better decisions. And it's been game changing for my children. Now that my older 2 are curious about themselves, they can avoid so many mistakes that I made not having this information. But I feel like you are the secret weapon. And now you can be the secret weapon in any situation that you're in, because knowing that you're going to feed the good wolf and you're going to not feed the bad wolf, and you're going to have people around you that keep that bad wolf out of your life, right? Because we all have traits and personalities that will get in the way of our decision making, and that will stop us from opportunities, and that might even stop us together. I'll share one last thing. In fearfulness, it wasn't a surprise to me that I scored quite high in fearfulness, and I didn't realize that that's because it's how I was born. That's the trait of it. And so sometimes I got to think, is that a rational fear? What am I really afraid of? And I go with a companion. How do I stop my fear? Well, I put things in place so that I can eliminate that fear. It's not going to go away, but knowing that it's there for me I can work on that, right? And I can say it's not rational. It's just me, right? We have things in us that we sometimes like don't like. If you're emotional and highly sensitive, as you said, Neil, you're emotional, highly sensitive. High sensitivity isn't always great because I can cry on a dime. Thank goodness I'm resilient. But if I was highly emotional and all the other traits that you like, I'd sleep in bed all day and not get up. So what do I need? I need people around me that are going to say, "Get out of bed, girl. This is just you can get through this. You got to get coached through that." And so I'm a better coach for it. I think I'm a better mom. I'm a better being, and it's because of you. And this is what we want to give to other people. It's not my gift. I think it's the world's gift, and Neil just happens to know how to facilitate it. So thanks, Neil. If
Thank
you
you.
guys have any questions or comments, please do reach out to us, and we will be back to a live stream soon. Let me just take a quick photo because this is our first. Is this your first StreamYard? I gotta ask. Okay,
Yep.
what day is it today? Yay! It's our first day trying something new. Cheers!
I have a feeling it won't be our last.
No, it's not going to be our last. We're going to get better at this, guys. So thank you. Have a wonderful night. It's Saturday. Can't think of a better place to be than here with you guys sharing my secrets, and now they're yours. So bye.